Hey, look, you are never going to achieve work-life balance. Never. But you can achieve what's called hustle harmony. Now, look, in this kind of time today, I'm going to break down 10 specific habits that you can put in place in your life that allow you to create peace and powerful momentum in any area of your life across the board, because I've seen this happen. Like, when I learned to do this, I went from being divorced and broke to being at a point where I have a thriving business, right? I was stressed out at one point in time, and I realized that for me, that it was because I didn't have a good work-life balance, right? And I don't think this exists. I believe that balance is interesting, because if you think about balance, it means that on one side of the scale, it's equal on the other side of the scale. So if I go, I'm gonna spend 8 hours at work, I should give 8 hours to my health, 8 hours to my wife, 8 hours to my kids. Not realistic. However, if I can look at it as a harmony, it allows me to go from a point where I was broke, divorced, and kind of going crazy to being in a place where I have a thriving business, I'm in good shape, and I have an amazing life, and I flow in all areas of my life. Something you can actually have for yourself also. Because the idea is to look at things harmoniously. Can I have, a good, strong, we'll call it baseline of the family, right? But I'll have the guitar of career, or maybe you can also put in like the drums in some area, like the hi-hat of your health. You know what I mean, right? It's about kind of a musical perspective to it. If you put that in place, you can create this harmony that allows you to do whatever you want and not freak out. And let's be honest, Drake said it best, man. There are more people that want it than people that got it. This mentality that if you think about how many people want the thing that don't have the thing, it's way higher than those who actually have the thing. And it's because I think people are seeing it wrong. You're not looking at it in the right perspective. And so if you can frame it properly, you can get to the point where you can have peace and achieve your fullest potential in all areas of life and in everything you do. But it's got to be based on understanding how harmony works. And if you take these kind of lessons I'm going to teach into account, it'll help you get that figured out. So honestly, we can see all the things that life has to offer. The hard part is we can see it all, but a lot of us don't get it. A lot of us don't achieve it, don't experience life with it very often. And so it's tough, because I look at it and go, man, I know that it's possible. A lot of us think it's never possible, but it is. And people fall short of it because they don't have these things in place. So let's dive into this today. The first one's going to be, you have to stop saying that you want a work-life balance and start saying you want harmony. The longer you keep telling yourself, I gotta have balance, you will stress out, because balance, in my opinion, is unattainable. You can't get to a true balance. Now, you can have harmony in aspects, but if we're honest about it, sometimes there's windows of time like the holidays when there's more emphasis on the family. Sometimes there's going to be areas where you have more emphasis on work, more emphasis on your health or your kids. There's going to be different times, and if you're always seeking balance, you'll find that you're always in some manner out of balance. But a harmony can change. It can adjust. I can have at some point in time a heavy, you'll call it sound, or call it instrument of the family in the holidays. And it's okay, because there's still a harmony to my work, because that tones down a little bit. The new year picks up, we can spend more time at work in our projects, right? And the harmony might shift, so it's not as family focused. Maybe a little bit more health focused in the beginning of the year. But the idea is you have to seek a harmony. If you don't seek a harmony, what happens is you start beating yourself up every time you don't have that thing that you think you should, which is harmony and balance. So you gotta adjust some things, start looking at it as like, all right, I'm not focused too much on having everything be perfectly organized and balanced. No, I'm looking at what season am I in? What tempo am I in for this kind of season of the song or segment of the song? What's the beat, we'll call it, for this segment of the song of your life? You find that out, it changes things. Then what you have to do is, number two, is set your own scale. Far too many of us are spending time looking at other people's lives going, I want that, and that'd be great. And then when you do achieve something, you compare it to the scale of somebody else, and you are immediately met with a realization you could have done more. Well, yeah, we could always do more. But should you feel bad for the accomplishment you just have because you didn't do the next one up? See, it's an unending scale. The world scale kind of sucks a little bit, because there's always more you can do. And the truth is, you don't have to feel bad for not doing that next step. So setting your own scale is paramount, because when you look at that harmony, you're not going to be trying to stretch out to something you can't attain or go towards something that's not going to fit for your life. So spend more time thinking back, okay, where can I personally set my own scale? Sit in a quiet room, and if it's dark somewhere, it's fine, and go, what do I got to do? What would be great for me if I was to cut everybody else off, put myself in a silo? What could I be proud of me doing? What could be the thing that you step back and go, you did a good job for that? And then whenever that thing comes to pass, you celebrate it in that manner. You're not freaking out, you're not stressed out, you're not feeling bad because you didn't get the next thing and the next thing, but you go, yes, hey, good job, you accomplished that. Because that mentality, that appreciation for what you're doing now is going to be a complete game changer when you look at the kind of steps of your life. Because if you have energy that's positive from an accomplishment, you will then go to the next one. But if you accomplish this thing and you don't feel great about it, you don't go to the next one. Why? It's going to feel the same, and it doesn't feel great now. Why would it feel better? The only separation difference is, did you set your scale and appreciate yourself for what you accomplished at that level of scale, separate from the world scale? Number three is, you got to be where you are when you are. One of the hardest things about harmony is being okay where you're at when something else is unfinished or it's lingering. See, when I played college football, my coach was really big on be where you are when you are. What she meant was when you're in the film room, be in the film room. Don't be at home thinking about a TV show, if that makes sense. When you're at home, be at home. Don't be there thinking about football practice. Like if you're with your wife, you're with your girlfriend at the time, like pay attention to them. Be there, be focused. Because what happens is the harmony gets thrown off in life between work and life, because what we do is you go, man, I wasn't focused at work because I was thinking about something at home. Now my wife and I are fighting, so I'm at work and I don't get work done. So I got to go home and I bring work in my head to my house, or on my computer, I'm doing work. My wife goes, why are you still working? What are you doing? Can you just stop? Can you focus? Can you be here with the family? Can you watch a TV show? Can you be focused at dinner? Put the phone down, right? So now there's this anxiety and this kind of, we'll call it tension at home. And so what I do, I carry that back to work and I'm having trouble at work. Don't get work done. Same cycle, you get it? See, the idea is you got to be where you are presently when you're there. So if you're at work, yes, you might have a fight with your wife going on. I get that, but you can't do anything about it now except for free up your mind for when you get home to focus on her or husband, whatever it might be. So the idea is be focused in this moment here. If it's a date night with your wife, be focused with your wife or your husband at date night. Leave work at work. Then when you go to work, here's a cool thing. If everything was great, it was a great date night, you come to work lively, a little more energy, a little pep in your step, right? Then you do great work. You finish your work because you're focused and in flow. You feel on. And you go home and you don't have work in your head, so you're focused on family and everybody loves you're there. The joy goes back and forth. It's a positive cycle. So be where you are when you are. Now, number 4, you must set and keep boundaries ruthlessly. I mean ruthlessly. For me in my life, the way I function is I don't let people in that don't belong in. I don't let things in that don't belong in. In fact, right now as I'm recording this for you, I have everything in my computer area all shut down. Everything's on do not disturb. There's no way to access me besides my wife and kids for an emergency. Besides that though, I've got boundaries set up and I hold them ruthlessly. Also, when people ask for my time, if I already have something in that window or I've allocated my time towards that for creative work, you can't touch it. I got a boundary. See, the problem is you can't keep harmony if you can't keep your projects in motion. You can't be productive. You break your productivity if you don't hold boundaries. So if today something's got to get done and somebody goes, hey, want to go to the, I don't know, food place and get some lunch with me? Maybe you plan to sit at the office and do a working lunch, but all of a sudden someone comes in, and if I don't set and hold that boundary ruthlessly, I go, yeah, I'll come down the street and go have some lunch with you. And I'm gone for an hour and a half. I get none of that work done. Then what happens, I come back and I'm stressed because that work didn't get done. You go back to the cycle of I bring work home. Problematic. The idea is to hold boundaries, but you must set those boundaries properly. Know what you're going to keep in and what you're going to keep out. Those two matter, and then you got to hold them like it's a warrior trying to come and take something from you, because they are. They're trying to take your peace, take your joy. They're trying to take your harmony. It may not be intentional. It might be one of the coolest people in the world that you love the most, but you got to set the boundary, because if you don't, too much gets in and it floods your life with negativity, things you don't need unintentionally. So you got to set and keep boundaries. Then number 5, you must do the dark work. My whole thing is about identity and dark work, right? Because if you think about the identity you're going to become where you are now, it's because of the things you did in the dark that allow you to shine in the light the way you do right now, whatever that manner may be. But it's because of the dark work you do. Now, a lot of us, we want to keep that kind of, we'll call it harmony in place, but we avoid the dark work, the unsexy, unseen drudgery type of work. It's sometimes the things we hate doing, but allows us to do the things we love to do. But you've got to focus on where in my life can I do the dark work that most people aren't doing, because that's what separates you. But it's also what gets things done. If you don't do dark work, you'll never shine in the light. And in fact, if you don't do hard dark work, you won't have a conviction to compete in life when you need to hold your boundaries, set the line, fight for what you know you deserve. You got to be in a mentality of realizing that the way you'll show up in the world is based on the work you do in the dark, period. If you don't do dark work, you don't shine, but you do it and you do. It's a whole mentality of what you do in the dark comes to the light. We all see with a negative connotation. It's not, because what you do in the dark will also shine in the light. When you're a boxer and you go to the gym, 7 days a week, you run miles in the morning, you get your diet right, you've been in camp killing it. When you go in those lights in that ring, it's different. You're going to see something different. It's like let me loose mentality. You get to shine in the light, because what you do in the dark, comes to the light. That's the mentality you got to have when you show up. So make sure you're focused on doing the dark work, the unsexy, unseen stuff that nobody knows taking place, but they get to see it through how you show up in the light of what your life is. Number 6, control your little monster. What's the little monster? It's your phone, man. Control this bad boy. It's the biggest piece of it. I think all of us, you're probably watching this on your phone right now. I get it. Sometimes I get distracted. I do too. But you can't let it control you. It's designed to take all your attention. The pings, the dings, the noises, the gamification, all the access that's all in one spot. It's designed to keep you on it, because when you're on it, you mean money to organizations and big companies that can market to you and have you buy their stuff. So being on it's big for everybody. So they fight to do it. You must control that little monster. Put it away. Put it away. If I right now was able to put my phone away and focus, I couldn't serve you the way I am right now. So the idea is you got to be able to put that thing away, control it, if that makes sense. You got to control it. Now, we're going to come back to a cycle number 7 for this step, which is kind of going back to what I alluded to earlier, but it's you got to kill the vicious cycle. The vicious cycle is I'm at work, I don't do work. I bring work home. I'm at home with a mad family because I'm not getting things done, or friends, or I'm not getting my goals met physically or emotionally or spiritually because I'm not able to focus on that. And then I go to work kind of sad or unhappy, so I don't do work and the cycle continues. I'm gonna tell you right now, all of us humans, we are the one species on this planet that must pay to live here. So we have to do work in some manner. We got to create, we got to develop, we got to do something, right? And so I recommend heavily you spend more time looking at how do you kill the vicious cycle. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's being productive. Efficiency is a huge thing when it comes to being able to kill this cycle. Now, you might go, yeah, there's so many things to do, it's tough. I get it. Imagine it's kind of like this movie floating around in your head. So I picture it. It's a movie floating around in your head. And what I have to do is I need to step back and take this movie out of my head and put it down onto, we'll call it a canvas, and organize everything in a manner that feels less chaotic. A lot of us, when I get all these things, we're holding all this stuff in our head and it's all up there and I got to get all this stuff done. And no, take it out of your head. What it means is write it down. Take all the things that have got to get done or you think have to get done, write them down and take a look and go, of the stuff on this, does this really got to get done right now? Can this wait for 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Can this wait for 1 month, 2 months? Can this wait for 1 year, 2 years? And what happens is you start noticing some of these things, they're self-propelled. You want to get them done, but nobody's waiting for it. And if that's the case, push it off. Why? Because if I push this crazy thing that's holding my space off, it clears up space emotionally and mentally to work on the things that should be done right now. Now, it doesn't mean you never do it, but it means you press it off. And you might find that in clearing that space, you find something that's better that can replace that thing. But the more you hold it in your head all day long, the more it stresses you out and you can't actually get good work done at work. So press some projects off a little bit if need be. On top of that, you need to be able to know what you're doing in the window of time you are doing it. If you're like me, sometimes I show up to a window of time to do some work and I go, all right, I'm gonna work on project A right now. But I start thinking about project B, project C, project D. I just start thinking about all of them and it stresses me out. And I go, man, at the end of an hour, I didn't even get any solid work done on project A. I am no better than when I started this. What I choose to do in those moments, and they're less frequent nowadays, less likely for me in how I run my life, but I go, all right, what if I just stop, pause right now, and organize where these things are gonna be? I might do project A today, project B could be a little bit tomorrow, project C could be the next day, right? Or you can also do, which is a deeper dive, it's what I choose to do, actually teach this, is I step in and I go, all right, let's take a look at all the hours that may need to be allocated towards this project. Can I list those and break them up? I could technically work on project A for an hour today, B for an hour today, project C for an hour today, and in doing so, I get everything organized and clear. And that's a great thing because now what happens is I'm making small progress towards my end destination. And then I feel at peace with that piece being done. So I can go home without work stressing me out because everything is out of my head, organized into my life, structured by the hours. As long as I show up to the day, do what's supposed to be done that day, I'm on track. No need to freak out. Everything will be done by the deadline. So I can be empty-minded work-wise when I come home. And it makes for a good home moment, home experience. I feel good, I feel enjoy, I go back to work, I get more stuff done. So kill that vicious negative cycle. Number 8 is you got to define the harmony for this season. Every season has different harmonies. Some harmonies, most of them take into account your family, your health, your career. Let's just say those are the 3. You got the drum of the family, you got the guitar of your marriage, you got the violin of your relationship, right? You might even have your health woven in some aspects there too. So if I got my career, I got my health, I got my family, let's put the marriage in there too. Those things are the ones you can create a season around. And I may tell my wife, hey love, just so you know, this month I got a lot of stuff for work I got to get done, but I'm going to spend time on our date nights and whatnot. But after that, we're going to take a weekend away, right? You can do stuff like this. You can have the seasons adjust. Or like right now when I'm filming this, the holidays right now. It's holiday time. So what that means for my family is like we spent 4 hours yesterday just putting up decorations, right? Work takes a back seat just a little bit. I diminish the tempo and the harmony of the season for work. I create more moments with the family. I spend more time with the family and less doing doing work type tasks. So the idea is adjust the harmony, but know your harmony, define it, and then do that moving forward. Number 9, take care of your effing body. Yes, take care of it, man. You got one of them, and there's this mentality that, well, I gotta work and focus and I can't take care of the body. What you don't realize is your body is not designed to carry your brain around. It's designed for you to focus and be able to use your body to fuel your brain. Seriously, there's something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. That is something that's released post-workout that actually helps you memorize, helps you create new synapses, helps you balance norepinephrine, serotonin, dopamine in your brain. And so if you're able to move, you actually aid the brain in doing the creative work you have to do every day. But most people don't do this. You don't have to go out and do crazy workouts and puke in the workout and be flipping tires and battle ropes. Go for a walk to begin with and progressively build up. Use that bike or the treadmill you already probably have at the house. Use the gym membership you're already paying for. Go utilize these things. Take care of your body. You'll be surprised at how it helps both your neurological ability to move and use your brain, but also the psychology of it. When you're moving and grooving and consistent in your workouts, you feel powerful. I know you do. And that sense of power is something that can trickle out to every aspect of your life. But you got to actually do the work to get the benefit of that psychology of feeling confident in what you do. Number 10, create your sheet music and then play the song of your life. Create this music. I mean, here's what it is. It's not just saying define the season. I want you to write it down. I have a planner. It's on my chair over there. I have a full planner that structures my life. It's my sheet music. When I look at it and I go, hey, I want to have more family time than I have work time, it's not just saying that. Like there's a statement by a buddy of mine. He says, if I want to know who you are, all I have to do is look at your planner. That's it. All I gotta do is look at your planner. What's your calendar say? Because what you allocate time towards is what's important right now. So for me, you'll see in there right now, I got way more time focused on family and doing stuff with the kids and my wife and watching movies most of the time, just hanging out, being a unit and a family, than I do with work meetings. That's intentional, specifically intentional, because I want my family in this season to know. So I had to write the sheet music leading in. So I plan my life 5 to 6 weeks out at all times. When I eat a week, I lead a week. So when I'm getting into that season, I know, hey, heading out of here 4 or 5 weeks from now, I got family time. I'm blocking all this stuff off so no one can book me. I can't be scheduled. I can't do stuff. But because I'm always creating my sheet music for the season of my life. So that harmony is beautiful. If you don't do that, you lose out. So make sure you apply these things. Go rewatch this video if you need to, because I'm telling you, it's going to be stuff you can use over and over again and reapply. But do that. And also, if you have not watched this next video, right here is one of our most highly rated. It's an amazing video. I've done some cool things to make it great, but make sure as you watch it, you kind of take some notes, and you'll see as you get into it why I had you watch it. That's it. Take care. And as always, go out in the world and do the dark work to make shift happen.